Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So if you're watching this video, odds are that you have seen an old video of mine which went viral a couple of years back. So the title of this video was I took 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 supplement every day for 6 months. So I published this video on Feb 3rd, 2022. So that's almost 2 years back. And this video got lots of views, almost 500,000 views, and I have got lots of comments from you guys. And some of the recent comments, people are asking if I'm still taking such a high dosage of vitamin D3, did I face any health issues? So what I'm going to do in today's video is that I'm going to give an update, and I'm also going to share some of the new things that I've learned about vitamin D3. So this video is going to be an interesting one. Let's get started. So let's start with the question, am I still taking 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3? And the answer is yes, I am. But I'm not saying that everyone should take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3. So I'm going to talk about the reason why I need such a high dose and why you probably don't need such a high dosage, or maybe you do need such a high dosage depending on your health conditions. So the reason I started taking 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 is because I was suffering from chronic fatigue, and I was trying to figure out why I always felt tired, why I was always exhausted, regardless of whether I had a good night's sleep, regardless of whether I was eating healthy or exercising daily. I just did not have energy. So I started talking to my doctor. I actually had to change a couple of my doctors because some of my earlier doctors were not able to figure out what was wrong with me. But eventually I found the right doctor, and my doctor found out that I had underactive thyroid. So thyroid gland sits here under our neck, and it is responsible for metabolism. It regulates the metabolism in your body. So my thyroid gland was underactive, which meant that my metabolism had slowed down, and as a result, I was feeling tired, and I also started putting on weight, and I kind of felt down. I kind of felt depressed. I just had mental health was also a challenge in addition to, I was putting on more weight. So once the diagnosis came that my thyroid gland was busted, my doctor said, okay, fine, we will put you on oral hormones. So they give these medicines, Synthroid, Cytomol, and these are basically oral hormones that you take every morning, and they basically supplement your thyroid hormones. And so my doctor said, hey, just take the medicine and you will be fine. But unfortunately, that was not the case. I still felt bad. I mean, things did not get better. So then I, went back to my doctor. I had more consultation with some experts. And then eventually one of the doctors found out that I had an autoimmune condition. It's called Hashimoto's. And this is a genetic condition. And since this is an autoimmune condition, so just like other autoimmune conditions like, multiple sclerosis, these things are usually not treatable. There is no drug in the market. You can't take some pill and cure it. So you have to basically live with it, and it kind of sucks. So take a look at this chart. This is thyroid peroxidase. So this is an antibody, and elevated levels of these antibodies are basically not good. So normally you are supposed to have 9 IUs per ml or less. And I was almost 90, so 10 times more than what you are supposed to have. And the elevated levels of thyroid peroxidase are basically a sign that there is a lot of inflammation in your body, and this inflammation is it usually happens when you have Hashimoto syndrome. So this is May 27, 2020. So that's when I found out that I had Hashimoto. Now my doctor said that we can't do anything. You just take your thyroid medication and it should be all fine. But as you can see here, I was able to bring my thyroid peroxidase level down. There was a relapse and it went up again. But my last test here, July 6, 2023, it's actually quite down. It's still not 9, but it is approaching 9. So things are getting better. How did this happen, right? Did I do something, or is it just, it just automatically things got better? Well, the answer is automatically nothing gets better. You have to do something. So that's why I'm making this video, because I want to share this with you guys. So the main problem that I had was that my vitamin D levels were very low. So let me show you my chart here. This is my vitamin D serum level. Actually, it goes even before that. This is the last data that I could pull from my medical record. But my vitamin D serum level actually was 13 nanogram per milliliter. which was very low. If your vitamin D is very low, then you should investigate why it is very low. So in my case, I had low vitamin D because of Hashimoto. So what happens is, if you have these autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto or multiple sclerosis or whole bunch of other autoimmune conditions, then vitamin D resources in your body starts getting depleted. There is enough research which suggests that vitamin D acts as a fuel and your immune system uses it to fight external invading bacteria and virus, and it also uses vitamin D to try to heal the body from inflammation. So if you have a lot of inflammation, your body will start consuming more vitamin D. So if you have Hashimoto, for example, odds are that your vitamin D is going to be very low in your blood. So that's why I started taking 10,000 IUs of vitamin D, because I wanted to raise my vitamin D level. So you can see that it was 13. It's not here in because I don't have the data. Unfortunately, between the insurances, I lost the chart, but it used to be 13. Then I was able to bring it up. Then I relapsed because I kind of got lazy and I was not taking my vitamin D supplementation. So it went down. But since the last 1 year or so, I have been taking 10,000 IUs every day. And now my vitamin D serum level sits at about 65 nanogram per milliliter, which according to my doctor is the right, number. So that's where you should be. So let's take a look at the recommended vitamin D serum level that various government agencies are giving, and it's kind of hilarious how much misinformation is present and how much bullshit information these government agencies are publishing and recommending. And a lot of our doctors, at least the doctors here in United States, they follow these guidelines, and these guidelines are completely obsolete. So let's take a look at National Academy of Medicine, NAM. So this was initially, it was called Institute of Medicine, I think IOM. They renamed themselves. So this is the National Academy of Medicine, and their recommendation is that if your vitamin D serum level is below 12 nanogram per milliliter, then you are considered deficient. So I was 13 nanogram per milliliter. So according to these guys, I was not even deficient. So yeah, go figure that. Then they say that if you are 12 to 20 nanogram per milliliter, then you are insufficient. So they are saying you're not deficient, but you are insufficient. I'm not sure what the difference is. And then they say anything higher than 20 nanogram per milliliter and you are fine. Now let me tell you, based on my own personal experience, my own personal health, and also based on all the research that I have done in the last 2 years trying to heal myself, I will say this with 100% confidence. These recommendations are complete bullshit. If you think that 20 nanogram per milliliter is all you need, you are in a lot of trouble. And if your levels are there, and if you feel tired, if you feel exhausted, if you feel chronic fatigue, if you feel mental fogginess, if you feel depression, these psychological issues, they are related with low vitamin D serum level. There is a lot of research, published research in reputable medical journal, which finds a correlation between these two things. So if you are wondering, okay, these guys are complete bullshit, so what recommendation should I follow? Let's go to the second institute. This is the Endocrine Society. So they say that a vitamin D serum level below 20 is considered deficient. And this is interesting because NAM was saying that anything above 20 is fine. These guys are saying no, 20 and below, that's not fine. You are deficient. And then they say between 21 to 29 nanogram per milliliter is insufficient. And I will not be surprised if your doctors have given you this kind of recommendation, because I remember my first doctor said that your vitamin D serum level, you should target 30 nanograms per milliliter. So when I was 13, he said take 1000 IUs of vitamin D3 supplements and try to bring your level to around 30. And so he was probably going by the Endocrine Society recommendation. So Endocrine says that sufficient levels are 30 nanogram per milliliter or higher. Now these are definitely better than NAM's recommendation, but even these are not good. So let's go to a third agency. This is the Vitamin D Council. And these folks are saying that anything below 40 nanograms per milliliter, that is deficient. Now this makes a lot more sense to me, because I did not feel good when my levels were even at 40. I showed you my chart, right? So I was around 40. This is little over 40, 45 or something. And then around the end of 2021, I actually had dropped to 35 or something. And I was not feeling good. At this point of time, I did not feel good. I had all the symptoms of vitamin D deficiency. I was feeling tired, exhausted, chronic fatigue, mental fogginess. I had all these symptoms. So I can attest that even at 30-35 nanograms per milliliter, I was not feeling good. So Vitamin D Council says anything below 40 nanograms per milliliter, that's bad news. And they say you should target 40 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. So right now I am at 65 nanograms per milliliter. I need to take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 to maintain that level. And that's the reason why I'm taking such a high dose of vitamin D3. So a lot of you have asked me this question, should I also take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3? And I will say the answer is no. You should not take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 unless you go and get your vitamin D3 level tested. So you need to get a vitamin D test first. And in a lot of countries, you will have to get your doctor's permission. So you will have to go talk to your doctor, ask your doctor to give you that vitamin D test, and then see where you stand. So say you are below 40 nanograms per milliliter. Then you will have to take supplement. How much supplement? You will have to kind of, do a trial and error here. So say you are at 35, then maybe start with 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every day. Take that for 6 months, and then after 6 months go get tested again and see where you stand now. And if your levels have slightly budged, maybe from 35 they went to 45, but they are not moving after that, they kind of are stuck at 45, then maybe you need to take more. Then maybe you need to take 10,000 IUs, or maybe you need to take 7,000 IUs, right? So you will have to figure out what is the level for you. Your goal should be to have a serum level between 40 and 80, and I would say that target around 65. That is the Goldilocks zone. That's the level where you will feel good and you will feel energized, and all these chronic symptoms, chronic fatigue and all these things that I used to experience before, those things will start going away once you hit that level, 65 nanograms per milliliter. Now, all of us are different, right? The vitamin D3 absorption, that depends on a whole bunch of things, including your age, your weight, your sex, even your race. Lots of factors determine how much vitamin D3 you need. So that's why I am not going to say that you also need 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 daily. That's what is working for me. You will have to figure out what works for you. Now, in addition to vitamin D3, you also need to take few other supplements. And so let me show you what I am taking. So this is my dosage. And again, guys, I want to reemphasize, I'm not saying you need to take these dosage. These are the dosage that are working for me. So I'm just sharing what works for me because I'm hoping this will give you some idea. But you should go talk to a doctor to figure out what works for you. So for me, I take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 daily. Then I'm also taking 100 mcg of vitamin K2 in the form of MK7. So you can go to your local pharmacy, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to Walmart, you can go to any of these pharmacy here in US and you will get vitamin K2. And I'm also taking 250 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Now you can get magnesium supplements in various formats, but magnesium glycinate is the best one because you are able to absorb it better. So this information actually came from my doctor. After working with a doctor who actually knew what she was doing, she was able to basically calibrate it for my levels, and this was the regimen that she told me. Now let's talk more about vitamin K2. So why do you need vitamin K2? So here is a diagram that I pulled from a paper that was published in a very reputable medical journal. And this is a simplified diagram which shows why you need vitamin K. So what happens is that when you are taking a high dose of vitamin D, 125 dihydroxyvitamin D, this is basically the vitamin D serum level in your blood. So when you have optimal levels of vitamin D serum level, then what it does is it promotes vitamin K dependent proteins synthesis, and these proteins are actually very useful. But the problem is that to activate these proteins you also need optimal vitamin K. So there is this kind of a feedback loop mechanism that's happening between vitamin D and vitamin K. So when you increase vitamin D supplementation, your body generates more vitamin K dependent proteins, but if you don't have optimal vitamin K, then you kind of run into a problem. There is this chemical process called carboxylation. Carboxylation of vitamin K dependent proteins require vitamin K. So if you are getting lost here in all the chemistry and all the biochemistry, let me simplify it and just say that if you are taking high levels of vitamin D3, but if you are not taking vitamin K, then you see all these things, the opposite of this will happen. So this is bone mass density. So you want your bone mass density to be high because you don't want fractures, right? If you don't take vitamin K, then this will actually go down. So your bone mass density will go down. Your fracture risk will go up. Your vascular calcification will go up. Vascular calcification is basically calcification of your vessels, your blood vessels. So this is very dangerous and it can even cause heart attack and other cardiovascular, problems. Also, it will cause soft tissue calcification, which is soft tissue is all the organs in your body. They will start calcifying and this can lead to organ failure. So that's also extremely dangerous and potentially fatal. So obviously you don't want any of these things to happen, and that's the reason why you need to take vitamin K2 supplements in addition to vitamin D3 supplement. So my doctor told me take 100 mcg of vitamin K2 in the form of MK7. So this combo is working for me, 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 and 100 mcg of vitamin K2. Now again guys, I am not a doctor. I can't recommend you what dosage you should take. I'm just sharing what I'm taking and what has helped me overcome my chronic fatigue and my thyroid issues. So my final update is that yes, I still have Hashimoto. So my antibody levels, as you can see here, the thyroid peroxidase levels, they have gone down, but they are still above 9 IU per ml, which means in theory, I still have Hashimoto syndrome, but I'm definitely making good progress. As you can see, it's going down. It's steadily going down. So I am definitely making good progress, and taking vitamin D3 supplements are definitely helping me. And by the way, there are a lot of other information that I would like to share, but YouTube guidelines are such that if I say things which are not mainstream science, my video gets copyright. Basically YouTube doesn't like, and they issue a strike or they limit the visibility of my video. So I'm not going to say some of the other things that I wish I could say here, but if you are interested, you can check out my ebook. I have linked it in the video description below, so you can download my ebook, and that has all the information that I have basically researched in the last 2-3 years. So go ahead and check that book out if you are interested. Otherwise, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.